In the annals of true crime, few cases are as perplexing and chilling as the Hinterkaifeck murders. Set against the backdrop of rural Bavaria in the early 20th century, this mystery has confounded investigators and fascinated the public for over a century. Join us as we delve into the haunting details of this unsolved case and explore the enduring questions surrounding the brutal slaying of the Gruber family on their remote farm. The Hinterkaifeck farm, located about 70 kilometers north of Munich, was a modest homestead typical of the Bavarian countryside. The farm was isolated, surrounded by dense forests and rolling fields, a serene yet secluded setting that would soon become the site of an unspeakable crime. The events that transpired at Hinterkaifeck on a cold night in March 1922 have since become the stuff of legend, whispered among locals and analyzed by true crime aficionados worldwide. The sheer brutality of the murders, coupled with the eerie prelude of unexplained phenomena, has left an indelible mark on the collective consciousness. This is not just a story of murder. It is a tale of mystery, fear, and the unknown. The Hinterkaifeck farm was home to the Gruber family, a group as complex and enigmatic as the crime itself. Andreas Gruber, 63, was the head of the household. A stern and authoritarian figure, Andreas was known for his rigid demeanor and unforgiving nature. He was a man who demanded respect and obedience, often at the expense of warmth and compassion. Andreas's wife, Cecilia, age 72, was a stark contrast to her husband. She was devout, deeply religious, and dedicated to her family and farm. Her life revolved around maintaining the household and ensuring the well-being of her children and grandchildren. Their daughter, Victoria Gabriel, 35, was a widow, having lost her husband in World War I. Victoria was described as a resilient and hard-working woman, striving to provide for her two young children, 7-year-old Cecilia and 2-year-old Joseph. The identity of Joseph's father was shrouded in mystery and scandal, with rumors suggesting that Andreas himself might be the father, hinting at a dark and incestuous relationship. The Gruber family led a life of hard work and isolation. The farm required constant attention, and the remote location meant that social interactions were limited. Despite their apparent stoicism, the family was not immune to the pressures and hardships of rural life in post-war Germany. Tensions within the household, coupled with the harsh realities of their environment, created a volatile atmosphere, one that would eventually erupt in violence. In the weeks leading up to the tragic events, the Gruber family experienced a series of unsettling incidents that hinted at the impending doom. Andreas Gruber reported finding strange footprints in the snow, leading towards the farm but not away from it. This discovery unnerved him, but he dismissed it, attributing it to a prank or a passerby. The eerie occurrences did not stop there. Andreas spoke of hearing footsteps in the attic, an area that was seldom used. Despite thorough searches, nothing was found. The family dog, usually alert and protective, seemed unusually agitated, barking at seemingly nothing and adding to the sense of unease. One particularly disturbing incident involved a missing key. The key to the house vanished without a trace, and despite searching high and low, it was never found. Around the same time, an unfamiliar newspaper appeared in the kitchen, one that no member of the family had brought into the house. These incidents, though individually minor, collectively painted a picture of an escalating and pervasive threat. The Grubers shared their concerns with neighbors, but the community was at a loss. Some suggested that the family was simply overreacting or succumbing to paranoia. Others, more attuned to the family's plight, feared that something sinister was indeed at play. Regardless, the strange occurrences remained unresolved, setting the stage for the horrific events that would soon unfold. On April 4, 1922, the serene isolation of Hinterkaifeck was shattered. Neighbors, concerned by the Gruber family's uncharacteristic absence, decided to investigate. what they found was a scene of unimaginable horror. As they approached the farm, an eerie silence greeted them. The livestock, usually attended to with meticulous care, appeared neglected. The house, normally bustling with activity, was eerily quiet. The neighbors, sensing that something was terribly wrong, cautiously entered the property. In the barn, they made a gruesome discovery. The bodies of Andreas, Cecilia Sr., Victoria, and young Cecilia were found stacked on top of each other, partially covered with hay. The brutal nature of their deaths was immediately apparent. Each had been savagely bludgeoned with a mattock, a type of agricultural tool. Inside the house, the horror continued. The body of 2-year-old Joseph was found in his crib, and the maid, Maria Baumgartner, who had only started working at the farm the previous day, was found murdered in her room. The scene was chaotic, with signs of a violent struggle evident in every corner. The initial investigation by local authorities revealed several disturbing details. Despite the apparent frenzy of the murders, certain aspects suggested a calculated and methodical approach. The killer had stayed on the farm for several days after the murders, tending to the animals and even eating meals in the kitchen. This bizarre behavior added another layer of mystery to an already perplexing case. Despite the brutality of the crime, the investigation was hampered by numerous challenges. The local police, unaccustomed to dealing with such heinous acts, struggled with the limited forensic technology of the time. Nevertheless, several key pieces of evidence were uncovered. The mattock, identified as the murder weapon, was found at the scene, covered in blood. The family's dog, which had been tied up and was visibly distressed, suggested that the killer had some familiarity with the household. Food had been eaten in the kitchen, and evidence suggested that the perpetrator had stayed at the farm for several days after the murders, tending to the livestock and maintaining the household. Witness testimonies from neighbors and locals revealed a complex web of relationships and possible motives. Some pointed to Andreas's reputation as a harsh and possibly abusive figure, while others highlighted the financial and social tensions within the community. Despite extensive interviews and the collection of physical evidence, no clear suspect emerged. Investigators faced numerous dead ends. Theories ranged from vagrants and traveling tradesmen to personal vendettas and financial motives. Each lead seemed to end in frustration, with no concrete evidence to definitively identify the killer. The case, mired in uncertainty and speculation, remained unsolved despite the best efforts of law enforcement. Over the years, several theories have gained prominence in the attempt to explain the Hinterkaifeck murders. One popular theory is that the murders were committed by an intruder who had been hiding in the house for some time, evidenced by the strange occurrences leading up to the crime. This theory suggests a cold, calculating individual who meticulously planned the murders and then brazenly lived on the property for days afterward. Another theory points to familial conflict. Andreas Gruber's reputation as a harsh and possibly abusive figure led some to speculate that the murders were the result of a violent familial dispute. This theory gained some traction with the suggestion of an incestuous relationship between Andreas and Victoria, but it remained unproven. The idea that such deep-seated domestic issues could culminate in such extreme violence is a chilling possibility. Others have proposed that the crime was the work of a person or persons unknown to the family, but connected through some obscure grievance or financial debt. This theory suggests that the Grubers were targeted for reasons beyond their immediate control, possibly involving external disputes or hidden secrets. Despite extensive investigations, including modern forensic analysis, none of these theories have been conclusively proven. The lack of definitive evidence and the passage of time have only added to the mystery, leaving the Hinterkaifeck murders as one of the most enduring unsolved crimes in history. The impact of the Hinterkaifeck murders on the local community was profound. Fear and suspicion permeated the region, with neighbors eyeing each other warily. The Gruber family's surviving relatives were left to grapple with their loss and the uncertainty surrounding the crime. The case influenced investigative techniques in Germany, highlighting the need for more sophisticated forensic methods and better coordination among law enforcement agencies. The brutal nature of the crime and the apparent lack of motive or suspect served as a stark reminder of the complexities and challenges inherent in solving such cases. Over time, the Hinterkaifeck murders have been remembered and retold in books, films, and documentaries, each offering new interpretations and insights into this dark chapter of history. The story has transcended its origins, becoming a part of true crime folklore and continuing to captivate and terrify audiences worldwide. Despite the passage of over a century, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of the most haunting and perplexing unsolved crimes in history. The brutality and mystery of the case continue to captivate true crime enthusiasts and investigators alike, serving as a stark reminder of the unknown and the unresolved. As we reflect on the tragedy of the Gruber family, we are reminded of the importance of seeking justice for all victims of unsolved crimes, ensuring that their stories are not forgotten. The Hinterkaifeck murders stand as a testament to the enduring power of mystery and the relentless human quest for answers, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable uncertainty.